Hi, I'd first like to thank you for choosing J&D Cellars for your wine selection and welcome you to our virtual tasting. Okay, the first wine we're going to be trying is Barbera. So Barbera is mainly grown in Italy, and we get our Barbera from the Susan Valley in California. Barbera is one of the Italian varieties, and it's the third most planted grape in Italy. The most planted grape would be Sangiovese, and the second most planted grape is Montepulciano. So, very popular in Italy, and it does really good in regions with a lot of heat and a long growing season. So I've selected a pretty wide mouth glass here. It's kind of short, so that when I swirl it around, none of the wine comes out. Kind of the shape of it will kind of keep that wine inside there. And what I'm doing is getting some air to it because it's been cooped up in that bottle for a long time. It needs some air to soften it up a little bit, and it'll just help it breathe a little bit. So we're going to swish around there and let it breathe for a second, and then take a look at the color. As you see, it's nice and dark. It's hard to see through. It's not like a transparent wine. It's really bold, full bodied. You get a lot of berry taste out of it. Now this one we aged in oak. The reason why is we're trying to create a wine that has good potential for aging and cellaring for a good amount of time. So what the oak will do is cover up a lot of the fruity flavors and make it go a little bit better with something that you have grilled. The inside of the barrel that we age this in is toasted, so you're going to have a charcoal and a smoky kind of taste. That's going to go good with some type of steak or meat that's cooked on a grill where you have charcoal and smoke also. Okay, so let's give it a try, see what it tastes like. Okay, so what you want to do is take a good smell the bouquet on your first, before you take a drink, and kind of anticipate what type of flavor you're going to get. I'm getting a lot of dry fruit flavor, and I'm picking up a lot of raspberry and blackberry flavoring when I taste it. Now, since it was aged in oak, I can taste a little bit of vanilla, which comes from the barrel that we aged in. So, nice bold wine, good body, good color, good aroma. Really great wine to have with food, or just sitting down and having a glass of wine at the end of the day. So I hope you enjoy that. Okay, the next wine I'd advise trying would be the Merlot. Now, I'm starting out with the more bolder wines with the heavier oak flavor, and we're going to work our way towards the fruitier wines. So if we haven't come to your particular taste in wine yet, we're working on it. So Merlot is a little bit less body than like a Barbera or a Cabernet. So it's a little lighter. I chose the Merlot because most people know what a Cabernet tastes like, and a lot of people have had our Cabernet, but I'm trying to get people to try some of the different wines that we offer. So Merlot is a little lighter in body, still aged in oak. It's still one of the Italian grapes from Italy and France. Now, we source the grapes from the same vineyard in California as we did the Barbera, the Susan Valley. So Susan Valley has a long growing season. It starts in April, goes all the way into October. So the grapes get a chance to hang on the vine for a long time. It gets a lot of alcohol. The sugar content in the grape gets very high, so it has potential getting 14% alcohol wines out of that. So as you swirl it around, you'll see the legs slowly running down the side of the glass. That gives you an idea of how much alcohol is in there. so you can compare how slow the wine runs down the side of the glass. So Merlot is usually one of the blending grapes. It's very popular in the Bordeaux region of France. Now, the Bordeaux wines are usually your highest quality wines in the French area. It's grown around other grapes like the Cabernet, the Malbec, the Carmenere. So it's used a lot for blending, just like a Cab Franc would be to blend with some other wines. So this is one of your grapes that typically goes in a Bordeaux. And what you normally do is put your Cabernet in there to bring out flavor. You add Merlot to add volume and add softness. Merlot is a real soft tasting wine. We age ours in medium toasted oak barrels. And we try to rotate a couple brand new barrels into that every year so that we have a lot of oakiness. Like I said, it's kind of soft, so a lot of times you need something to give it a little bit more of a robust taste. So we use, American oak barrels. So some of the flavors I tasted in there was some berries. It is young, and it will cellar very well because of the abundance of acidity that the grape has, and has good color, aged in oak, good alcohol. It's one of the wines that can cellar for quite a while. So give that Merlot a try, and if you're interested in some more, we'll have it here in a larger bottle format. Okay, our next selection is going to be the Malbec. So the Malbec's not quite as much oak in the Malbec, so you're going to get a little more of the fruitiness. So you're going to taste more of the grape. Now this is still a dry wine, still really full-bodied, really bold, dark purple, inky appearance to it. But when you taste it, you'll taste more fruit. Now this is also from the Bordeaux region of France, one of the Bordeaux grapes. Now you never hear the United States vineyards talking about a Bordeaux in the United States because in the United States it's called a Meritage. So this would be a good grape to select if you're trying to put more fruitiness into your Meritage wine, if you're looking to blend something. So a lot of flavor, really good for blending, but it holds its own as a straight 100% Malbec, and I hope you enjoy it. Our next wine is pronounced Montepulciano. Montepulciano is a medieval town in Italy. It's kind of confusing because Montepulciano is also a grape variety. Now, when you buy a Montepulciano from Italy, remember in Italy, the wines are named after the region they grow in. The Montepulciano grape is not one of the grapes they use in the Montepulciano region. So if you buy a Montepulciano from Italy, it probably doesn't have Montepulciano in it. It probably has Sangiovese in it because that's one of the Tuscany grapes that is commonly used in that region. Now this Montepulciano is grown in Lodi, California. We still chose not to age it in oak so that you get more fruity flavors out of it. Okay, so the flavors you get out of a Montepulciano are going to be more florally and herbal. You're still going to taste some fruitiness, but you'll have more of a peppery kind of taste. The flavors you're going to find are plum, sour cherry, more fruity. If you oak a Montepulciano, you'll get more of the smoky tobacco kind of taste. So this is why we kept it unoaked, so the fruity characteristics come through. What kind of dishes will this go good with? Hamburger, pizza, any meat with a spaghetti sauce in it or barbecue sauce. Something where the citrusiness of the meat is going to complement the citrusiness of the wine. Let's see. It's just a good all-around table wine. It goes good with a lot of light dishes. But Montepulciano, I hope you enjoy it. So the first white wine we're going to try is a Chardonnay, and we're going to have to switch to a white wine glass. Now, the taper on a white wine glass is made to concentrate the wine further back on your palate. Now, the Chardonnay we have is an unoaked Chardonnay, and the reason why you have an unoaked Chardonnay, let's say the reason why you oak a Chardonnay is to cover up the fruitiness of the grape. A typical California Chardonnay is aged in an oak barrel and is put through a malolactic fermentation. The culture takes the malic acid, which is naturally in the grape, and converts it into lactic acid, which is similar to the acid in milk, which makes it a lot softer of an acid. Once you age that in an oak barrel, it's going to end up giving you a buttery type of taste. And it's going to cover up all the fruitiness. This would be a better wine for like a hot afternoon. The citrusiness, like the lemony taste, is really going to come through on this wine. If you're going to be having a meal with fish, a lot of times you'll put lemon juice on the fish. Well, the Chardonnay is going to have a lemony taste, a citrusy taste to start with. So that's going to go really good with your fish meal. If you selected an oak Chardonnay, that's going to go better with something that's roasted over a fire, like a duck or a barbecue chicken or a roasted chicken. Something where you have the smoke characteristics will go better with a wine that aged in an oak barrel. Now, when you oak a Chardonnay, it gives you a straw kind of taste or color. So this Chardonnay is going to be really bright, a real light color, and more citrusy in its taste. So, like I said, really citrusy. You can smell the florally notes to it. It's a really crisp, hot afternoon day kind of wine. Serve it really chilled, and it's a really crisp, pleasant drinking wine. Okay, so the last wine in our tasting is a Pinot Grigio. So the Pinot Grigio is a dry wine also. However, it typically has a lot of fruitiness in its flavor. So a lot of people think Pinot Grigio is sweet, but it's actually, typically made dry. Now, if you're a semi-sweet wine drinker or a sweet wine drinker and you're looking to go into a drier white wine, Pinot Grigio is a good one to start out with because, like I said, it's dry, but it has a lot of fruity characteristics. So if you like the sweeter, fruitier wine, that's something that you're going to enjoy. So anytime you go to a restaurant and you pick a Pinot Grigio, it's going to be, a good bet that you're going to get a nice fruity wine. Okay, so no oak on a Pinot Grigio. You want the fruitiness to come through because you want that, fruit-forward taste. So it's going to be a really light colored wine. It's not going to be that straw kind of color. It'll be really aromatic and fruity. You'll get a lot of flavors when you smell it, a lot of fruitiness. Makes it better served chilled, hot afternoon kind of drink, sitting by the pool. Maybe after dinner you want some type of refreshing, fruity dessert, after dinner kind of drink. Or maybe just sitting in the afternoon having a drink at lunchtime. Really like fruit forward. Like your first step, if you're looking to try a dry white wine, that's the first place I would suggest going. Well, I hope you enjoyed our virtual tasting. We have a lot of different wines here at J&D Cellars for you to try. I'm sorry right now, it's just not the good time to be coming in and doing tastings because of the whole situation with the closing down businesses and not letting anybody congregate at the bar. So that's why we had to cancel all our tastings. So I hope you enjoyed this virtual tasting, and I hope in the spring everything will be fine and you can come back in and we can start doing samples again, and you can try every wine that we have here at J&D Cellars. Thank you.